Hi, this is One God Ministries, and today we have a special topic. The topic is very timely, and it is the hour of trial, which is our video 61. So, where do we find this hour of trial? It can be found in Revelation 3, verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia, write, because you have kept my command to persevere, I also will keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. So the Lord is talking about the church in Philadelphia. Now the seven churches of Revelation 3 actually actually represents seven categories of believers. Some say, oh no, it is a type of the stages of the churches. I believe that is not so. I believe these are seven categories of churches or groups of believers with their own characteristics. Look at this category of Philadelphia, and what is their characteristic? It is a obedient an obedient church, because they kept the commandments of Jesus Christ. And in return, the Lord promised to keep them from the hour of trial which will come upon the whole world. This shows you that this category of believers, categorized as Philadelphia, actually will exist also during the last days of this age, because the hour of trial was to come upon the whole world at the end. I continue in verse 11. Behold, I am coming quickly, said Jesus. Hold fast what you have, that no one may take your crown. He who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of God, and he shall go out no more. So Jesus Christ is advising the category of Philadelphia that they are to hold on. They must not give up. And soon he is coming. His return is very imminent. And the church in Philadelphia will actually exist during his coming, or should I say, that category of Philadelphia. So, what is this hour of trial which shall come upon the whole world Jesus was talking about? In Matthew 24, verse 21, he explains, for then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, these days will be shortened. Notice the hour of trial coming on the whole world is the so-called Great Tribulation Jesus mentioned. So it will be so great, nothing the world has ever experienced could compare to it. So some say, oh, the worst times of the world was World War I or World War II. No, the Great Tribulation will even be worse than these times. And as Jesus Christ said, if it was not shortened, no one would live through it. Verse 13 states, but he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, so whoever reads, let him understand, and let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. So what is this abomination that causes desolation? There was an earlier fulfillment of this in 70 AD when the Romans stood very near the Temple of Jerusalem on the boundaries of the so-called holy place spoken of by the prophet Jeremiah, I believe. And in these last days, it will have a future fulfillment when the Antichrist will sit on the temple of Jerusalem. So the Antichrist is going to come and sit in Jerusalem itself. So what are the characteristics of this great tribulation? Let us let the Bible describe it. In Revelation 13, verse 12, it states, "And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence." So John was talking about the second beast. He continues, "And causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image of the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He causes all, both great and small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Okay, so there will be a forceful marking, which is 666. Okay. My question is, are we heading in that direction, in which we could not buy or sell unless you have that mark which is identified as 666? Okay? How many of you believe we are heading in that direction? They say, oh, if you don't have that vaccine, you cannot go out of your house. You are forbidden to go out of public places to buy or sell. Okay, so could that vaccine be the mark? And some say, oh, that vaccine will actually come with this digital tattoo. And that is very much possible. You know, there was, some say there was a congressional approval or law in the United States uh, named HR 666 of all things. Okay, and what did HR 666 law state? It said that no one, or rather, all the peoples who are to go to the in public should have a, a mark of the that they have been vaccinated for coronavirus. So it does sound possible. Okay, so not unless that time comes, then we shall see. So how then could God fulfill his promise to the church of Philadelphia in Revelation 3, which stated, I also will keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world to test those who dwell on the earth. In the same way he saved Noah and Lot from tribulation, he would save believers the same way by providing a way of escape. So what is this way of escape? In 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 15 states, according to the Lord's own word, we tell you that we who are still alive, who are left till the coming of the Lord, will certainly not precede those who have fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and we will be with the Lord forever. Therefore, encourage each other with these words. In 1 Corinthians 15:51, the Apostle Paul states, "Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed. In a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. For the perishable must clothe itself with imperishable, the mortal with immortality." Okay, so not all people will experience death at the coming of Jesus Christ. Rather, some will be changed instantly. So the original word used in 1 Thessalonians 4:17, read earlier, was caught up, is harpazo in Greek. It means to zest. It also means actually the rapture. The rapture comes from the Latin Bible. In the Latin Vulgate, it is repiemur, the root word of rapio, caught up, from which our English word rapture comes. Okay, so it also exists in the Bible, that is, in the Latin version of the Bible. So notice that to seize means catch, pluck, pull, take away by force. Notice that in the rapture, what is natural for man is be on solid ground, on the earth. But when they are plucked and taken by force, they will be in the air to meet the Lord in the air. Now let us look further in Luke 17 verse 34. Jesus Christ told us, "I tell you, in that night there will be two men in one bed. The one will be taken and the other will be left. Two women will be grinding together. The one will be taken, the other left. Two men will be in the field. The one will be taken and the other left." And they answered and said to him, "Where, Lord?" So he said to them, "Wherever the body is, there the eagles will be gathered." So when they asked where, they were actually asking the Lord Jesus Christ, where the one who was taken be? And the answer of Jesus Christ is that they will be taken where the eagles are. So I ask you, where are the eagles? The eagles are actually flying in the clouds, in mid-air. Okay, so that is what was going on and why Jesus answered about the eagles. Notice the rapture will also occur in a flash, in a twinkling of an eye, in a split second. Okay? And Luke 17:26, Jesus Christ further described, "And as it was in the days of Noah, so will it also be in the days of the Son of Man. They ate, they drank, they married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all." Okay? So notice that the flood came only after Noah and his family were sealed in the ark. You can read this in Genesis 6 and 8, meaning the flood did not come and then Noah got into the ark. No, you have to understand the sequence. Noah is actually an example of how the rapture will occur, particularly with the same sequence. The people of God will be taken out in the same way that Noah was taken out and into safety before judgment came into the world. So the rapture will occur before judgment of the world comes. Some people say, oh no, you have to endure the judgment or the great tribulation. That is not really what the Bible is saying. Let us look further in verse 28 of Luke 17. Likewise, as it was in the days of Lot, they ate, they drank, they bought, they sold. But on the day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them. So, notice in here also in the days of Lot, before judgment was sent to the earth, Lot and his family were first secured and taken out of Sodom before Sodom was destroyed, which is the judgment of God on that city. Okay, so it is also today, before great tribulation will come, the believers, or rather the true believers in Jesus, will be supernaturally protected and taken out in the rapture. Verse 30 says, even so will it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he who is on the housetop and his goods in the house, let him not come down and take them away. And likewise, the one who is in the field, let him not turn back. Remember Lot's wife. Okay? Please understand what happened to Lot's wife. What happened to her? She was hesitant of going away. That is why she suffered the same penalty as the people in Sodom. Even though she was already out of Sodom, she was burned into salt. Okay? So, that is what happened to Noah and Lot, and that is also what will happen on the rapture of the church. Notice also that in the biblical account of Sodom and Gomorrah, only 3 people were able to escape Sodom. And the same with the time of Noah, only 8 people were able to escape. So only a minority of the peoples will be saved in the rapture. It is the destiny of the whole of mankind, as Jesus Christ said in the first verse, that the hour of judgment or the hour of trial will come upon the whole world. Okay, so the same thing will happen again in this end times. Okay, as Jesus Christ said in Matthew 7, verse 13, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it, but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. So will it also be in the end times. Only a few people will find the road to life and escape the hour of trial. They will be few compared to the majority of people in the world. So this is One God Ministries. If you want to watch our other videos, you can type One God Ministries in YouTube. Okay, and if you want to comment, you can write to me, jimeagle3202 at gmail.com. So until next time, this is One God Ministries thanking you for listening and watching.